All right, so we've got a vintage Garcia reel here. And this one is a 304. And I bought it off eBay. And I took it out and fished with it today. I put some new line on the spool. Took it out and fished with it today, and it was a little rough, which tells me that it hasn't been taken care of very well or maintained. So I opened it up, and this thing was so full of grease on the inside and so gooey that it was having trouble running from the thickness of the grease. And some of that can just be because it's old grease, or somebody put too thick a grease in there to begin with. But I'm cleaning most of the old grease out of there that I can. We're going to try to get this thing running smooth again. You can see this thing's just pleated with grease here. And so when you put this thing back together, what happens is you've got a mechanism in here. You've got a set of gears right here, and they have to turn freely. So if you got extra grease on that, you know, a little grease goes a long way. You don't want to over-grease this stuff. You just want it to run smooth. If I need to thin some grease out, I'll take some 3-in-1 spray in there, and that'll thin that grease out, and then I can just sop it up, and it lubricates at the same time. And now, that thing's running pretty smooth, all right? And that's what I want. So now, the rod goes back in here. You can see there's a hole in that rod, and that moves back and forth, okay, on the gears. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you're going to put this back in, and you're going to put this plate in so that it falls into that hole, just like that, and it sits all the way back. And then you've got this next gear that you've got to contend with here, and it's got a lot of grease on it too. So we're going to take some of that grease off of that thing because it's, like I said, this thing is so over-greased. It's unreal. And some of that's just going to require getting in nooks and crannies and things. Leaving a little bit of grease in there is fine, but it does not need as much as it had in there for sure, okay? Now this one here has got nubs on the back of it that have to sit inside that plate, okay? You can see those nubs on the back of that. They fit inside this plate. When they're on there right, what'll happen is as this turns, it moves that back and forth. And that's basically moving that rod in and out. And as you're spinning this thing, it's winding up your line, okay? Now, we'll look at this other side of this coin here. And you've got some grease issues here. I've cleaned a lot of it off already. And I cleaned a little more of it off. And this thing is just slammed with grease. I'm going to dilute a little bit of that down a little bit too, I think. With some lube and get some of that sopped up out of there. We don't need all that in there. We just need to keep those gears nice and greased. And then we're going to put that gear back on, and it goes on like this. Actually goes on like this, excuse me. And interlocks with those teeth. So you got 3 gears, 4 or 5 gears turning there at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gears turning in there at the same time. And then going to place this back together just like this and kind of hold it in place and see what we got. Yeah, that's a lot better and a lot less noisy. Good. Yeah, everything seems to be working pretty good there now. Now we can put the screws back in the housing here to hold it together. And these screws are a little fiddly because they're small. You don't want to strip them. A small screwdriver is going to work the best for this. I happen to be using a Leatherman. It'll work just fine. I'll get that one started, but not snugged all the way down. Put the next one in. Then one last turn. Now, see where we're at here. Oh yeah, that thing is quiet now. That thing was so noisy today when I was reeling it in, I was about over it, fishing with it. Now, This is 2 pieces here. And I've already taken them apart and greased them and put them back together. But you've got a shaft inside here. And again, there was a little bit of excess grease on this, but you can see there's a shaft that goes through here with a gear spline on it. And that is on a clicker back here in the back that those gears set into. And then you've got a drag here that as you tighten this down, once it's placed back on the spline, you can see right here on the rod itself, once it's placed back down that spline and you're screwing this down, there you go. Now the drag's working, you can hear it. And as you tighten it down, the drag gets tougher. Now, let's see what we got here. Good. Everything's good and tight. Now we got something we can fish with, okay? I wish I would have started this camera when I first brought this reel over here to mess with it, because I'll tell you what, it was so noisy. Like I said, it about drove me crazy fishing with it. And it was difficult to reel, more difficult than it should be. If it's maintained correctly, it should just float like that. The gears should work by themselves, and you shouldn't have a bunch of gumminess in there where you're having to force the reel. And that's pretty much what I was having to do fishing with it today. Now, I got a reel I can work with, okay? I've got a spare spool for that reel right here that needs new line put on it. This is old line. I'm gonna strip all this off here and put new line on it. And I've got 10-pound test on this one, and I'll put probably 6 or 8 pound on this one. This is probably 6 or 8 pound on it now. I'll put new line on there so that I've got a reel with lighter line and a reel with heavier line. And I've got a Garcia Sport Fisher rod that this goes with. And now I've got a nice set of vintage fishing tackle there that I can work with. One thing about this reel I wanted to show you, back in the day when this reel was made, most of your reels were not reversible. In other words, you couldn't put the handle on the opposite side of the reel. So when I'm buying fishing reels, especially antique stuff like this, I have to make sure that it is right-hand retrieve, because I throw left-handed and reel right-handed. Most reels you buy, when you buy them new in the package, are gonna be left-hand retrieve, because most people are right-handed, so they throw their rod with their right hand, reel with their left. If you're buying a vintage reel and you're actually left-handed, you're going to wanna buy one that's right-hand retrieve, so that you'll be able to fish with it the way you normally do. New reels, you can just switch them back and forth. So you buy a new reel, you switch the handle to the other side, it becomes retrievable on the right side instead of the left. But with the older ones, you couldn't do that, okay? So you have to buy specific right-hand retrieve reels. All right, guys, listen, I appreciate you joining me out here this morning. Just to, again, a lot of my videos are just vlogs of what I'm doing. I got up this morning, I decided I was gonna go fishing for a little while. Got skunked, by the way. Didn't catch any fish, unfortunately. But we've had a lot of rain over the last week, and water's really muddy. It's nasty. It's all high. It's probably jacked the fishing up pretty good. But I wanted to take this Garcia rod and reel out and try it out. And like I said, the reel was really rough. Now it's perfect. All right. The drag wasn't even working. Now it is. So now that I've cleaned this thing up, which I probably should have done before I even took it out, but I assumed it was going to be good to go when I bought it off eBay. But I did notice it was a little bit hard to reel when I was spooling it with line this morning, but I thought, well, I'll go try it anyway to see what happens. I wasn't happy with it. So I brought it back, decided to tear it apart, got the whole thing torn down. And I was like, I should be videotaping this, because maybe people don't understand how to take these old reels apart, put them back together, and lube them. So I decided to shoot the video. I appreciate you guys joining me. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for family, and for business, for all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.